Once more with feeling, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
So, loser bracket, our first look at the loser bracket. RESIN versus KSM. Whoever wins this gets to advance along the loser bracket and keep their dreams of making it the next weekend and the international finals alive. RESIN bringing an Ohio, looks like a ranged sniper spec, and a Montana that is, well, also kind of ranged sniper spec. Des Moines, unique upgrade, a Brisbane gun spec, interesting. A Moskva unique upgrade, another gearing unique upgrade, which is torpedo and speed spec. A Kleber Eagle Lance going into the middle right off the bat with a daring behind him, that's Mad Dog. And finally, one gearing going off the other direction towards CCAP, unique upgrade and torp spec as well. We got to the south.
Actually, Frice, you're talking about Frice. Okay, Frice is not a torpedo spec. Frice is actually running gun reload, believe it or not, in slot 6.
You're
That's
right.
Interesting.
You're right.
It's a weird hybrid kind of a gearing build.
Yeah, jack of all trades spec, I guess.
Our second time seeing KSM for the day, spawning here on the south side, bringing a Vermont. That's swag over 9,000. Running the same build we were looking at earlier, bit of a double artillery plotting room build, going for the accuracy. Our Hulk's Ohio with a very similar build as well. Mr. Kingsman's Moskva running the unique upgrade here. Oyman's Des Moines also running the unique upgrade with RPF, fronted all that by legendary Kleber. That is Ganser. Looks like he's going to try to jet to A and pick it up as fast as possible while his teammates behind him defend it. Chinese Hydro's Daring is going to play the middle of the board. He's up against Mad Dog and Eagle Lance, although he doesn't know that quite yet. And we had a look at swag over here. We got Brisbane. Sorry, that's Malakin's Brisbane here, headed over towards the CCAP. He's a bit of a gun build there. Wombat's gearing, mostly torpedo, although running the smoke upgrade in slot 3. Obviously, he's going to hook up with Malakin for their radar. And backed up well south of C over here, John the Pickles Venezia going for a range build.
Interesting seeing a range build Venezia.
Yeah, a little surprising as well. And we've talked about this before. Venezia was reigns very popular traditionally for two big reasons. As we see some early contact here going across the middle of the board with the two Darings picking up each other. Venezia is good at really good at two things. She's really good at dunking destroyers and dunking on Soviet heavy cruisers, particularly the Moskvas and Stalingrads of the world. But if you don't expect to see too many of that in the opposing lineup, then maybe Venezia is not for you.
Yeah, Venezia, what I've seen so far with King of the Sea is Venezia is used as a destroyer blapper. So,
oh yeah,
it's played a little bit more aggressively up close and that sort of thing. Kiting away, I don't know, I'd almost rather see an Henri at this point, as odd as that might sound.
Well, early cap going to KSM. Their Kleber Gambit works. They grab A uncontested. Everybody's still posturing for position over here at B and C. Malakin playing behind the smoke over at C. Torpedo's coming in, but his Hydro's up. He should be able to dodge most of those handily. Venezia is setting up over here on the 10 line as Wombat's gearing now with his smoke on cooldown. Probably looking out, moving out, trying to figure out how he's going to approach this cap. Pretty quiet start here. 4 minutes gone. 30-point lead and growing for KSM. RESIN still seems to be jockeying for position. We've got Dark Angels Des Moines headed over here towards A, backed up by Favas Ohio. Frice is gearing all the way over here on the 1 line. Elgar's Moskva he's turning towards mid. I was wondering where they were going to put him. He's now kind of bowing in towards the center of the map.
This feels very old meta.
A little bit, I suppose, but if it works, why, does it matter really?
Yeah, I suppose. So for those guys, what I'm trying to say is, this is typical. We see in clan battles, we see it in older KOTS with the Cap and the Thunderdome having a radar cruiser on either side of this island just looking opposite directions, backed up by each other, yada, yada, yada. So
Both teams have set up that way. You can see them. Oyman's Des Moines here, Kingsman's Moskva, and then Dark Angel's Des Moines and Elgar's Moskva.
right.
Swag's Vermont has been trying to dunk Dark Angel's Des Moines, but where Angel is, that's not going to happen. He'd have to pull forward.
Yeah.
A little more room, a little more gap there.
Yep, I was just looking over there as well. He's doing a nice job of keeping the upper part there. There's that on the mini map. It looks like you're safe, but it's fake. It's actually a low area, and we often see shells just dunk on cruisers right there.
Mad Dog attempts to step onto B, gets caught by Oyman's radar. Oyman dumping shells, and so is Hydro Abuser.
A-Bomb had a pretty good salvo with his Montana on Oyman's Des Moines, as single fire torpedoes are coming in right now. Gonna take one.
Nope.
No.
Wow.
Just stops and
Well played. Just reverses into it. K-Bomb's Montana continuing to fire shells down at Oyman, though. Now, Wombat got dinged up by somebody over here. I'm wondering... No. The Brisbane's radar back there is not... hasn't used a charge, so... I wonder if he took a... I wonder if Wombat took a torpedo.
that's a good possibility. This should be the second round of torpedoes out now.
Malikan's Hydro is offline, but they obviously know where to be firing, looking for him. In fact, he may take one here. No, I think he's okay. Should be fine. Should be.
Yeah, he's all right.
Again, attempting to step onto B. Kingsman puts his radar up. They managed to ding Mad Dog a little bit, maybe grab a reset or two, but it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, and over at A, looks like Fryce is getting ready to back into A.
Well, I've been trying for what Zath likes to call the French radar there, just vomiting shells into the smoke, figuring sooner or later he might hit something.
Might as well, especially if you're dark.
Might as well. He can do it for free, which is exactly what's happening right now.
See how close he is. He's very close to Mad Dog.
Not going to happen.
Nope.
In the end, it won't matter. RESIN does pick up B, and so 7.5 minutes in, it's about a 160-point lead here for KSM. Both teams sticking up a cap now. I'm really surprised at how quiet things have been at sea, Zath. The Montana has been looking elsewhere. It's literally been just the gearing in the Brisbane, and you've got 3 or 4 ships committed to this cap as KSM, and they've never even touched the cap.
It's, yeah, IC cap is no man's land, really. Both teams...
It's tough.
I think both teams were planning on kiting away from C, and neither team is pushing C, so therefore both teams are kiting away from each other.
Well, they're set up that way, or at least it seems to be. John's Venezia now pushing due north up the 10 line, trying to see how far he can get here, I think. Wombat now on the bottom end of C trying to reverse.
Yeah.
Malikan's radar going up now, picking up Wreckful.
Right, and Bry Guy pops his radar as well. Or no, Bry Guy was spotted for a second by Malikan. Here comes the Venezia slap.
Well, Montana salvo coming in on Malikan, but some decent hits, but nothing major. I'm a little surprised they didn't necessarily use that opportunity to push Wombat into the cap, knowing they had pushed Wreckful off, but that's not what happened. Eagle Lance's Kleber now rotating to this side of the map, so that's going to help shore up RESIN's position here to some extent.
But look at Hydro Abuser. He is also moving possibly towards the C cap.
Well, he's in a bit more of a gunfight with Mad Dog now. They're picking each other up on the surface. Mad Dog smokes defensively, but not before taking some more Des Moines shells from Orman.
Yeah, it really does feel like this B cap is just another one of those dances. But RESIN having the cap held means that they are still taking up points regardless.
Fryce did manage. I missed it. Fryce did manage to sneak in and grab A. They've narrowed. They held it long enough. The gap closed to about 50 points, and now Ganser back onto the cap. Radar picking him up from Dark Angel, but it's the Ohio and Frice's gearing that are going to have to try and get the resets here. So far, nothing doing.
Yeah, Swag over 9,000 boy is starting to push forward with this Vermont. I think he'll dodge these Kleber torpedoes. Just barely.
Just barely. Yep, just barely.
Malikan,
They do manage to get a couple of resets on Ganser, but when the radar goes down, they're not gonna be able to do it.
Yeah, Malikan's in smoke, was safe for a second, just got himself lit. I think that might be the smoke fire penalty for the Brisbane.
I think the smoke fire penalty is 6 and change, close to 7, maybe 7.1 or something.
Yeah, so
either way,
detected
Wreckful is very, very close.
Oh no, Big Six's Brisbane radar is up. That's what was detecting Malikan.
Yes. Yep. That Brisbane radar is down. Malikan's radar is about to come back up, and they know exactly. They know there's a destroyer in the cap. There it is. There comes the radar. They're going to try and push Wreckful off again. We have had a lead change. RESIN moves out to about a 20-point lead here. 9 minutes to play. This is a much more patient, calm, less. Oh my goodness, Wreckful just got annihilated.
Would you like to revisit that comment, sir?
Well, I was going to say it's been a much more patient, calm map control type of game than that craziness we saw just a little bit ago with KSC. But I mean, now that you've taken the destroyer out at sea, what's stopping you?
Right.
Wombat headed straight for the cap. Get in there, get those points on the board. You're upside down. Well, you have a 50-point lead, but it's going to go away here in a minute because Ganser has been unable to recap A. Frice just continuing to French radar him from the smoke cloud back there.
Yep, and
to the point.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say to the point where Dark Angel's radar is almost back, and he still hasn't gotten the cap.
Right. The other thing that was holding him back was the torpedoes from Frice, too, just going past him. And looks like Kingsman took a big hit there from the Ohio. Viva G just penetrating through the upper deck, I believe, of Kingsman's bow in that Moskva.
The Wombat's going to grab C. That's going to hold the points right there at a 6-point lead for KSM. See if Ganser can finish picking up A. Dark Angel coming in with the radar. 10 seconds to a cap. The Ohio shells are coming in for Ganser. 1 and not in time. He bags the cap. Yep. So now that lead will start to grow. 7.5 minutes to play here in game 1 of this losers bracket match in North America. Eagle Lance rotated back to the middle of the board. Looks like they've given up on Zath.
Yeah, losing that destroyer, it's going to be hard to try to push that back at this point. So I think that's the right call. But the problem is that it's going to take a while to rotate. Meanwhile, KSM is going to have the time that they need to reorganize themselves after this push.
I gotta say, Zath, I think personally I would pull John's Venezia out of here. There's no more destroyer on this flank to shoot. Now they don't necessarily know that, I suppose. They have to assume probably that the Daring is still lurking by mid. That's where he's been almost all game. They don't know that Eagle Lance is left, but I still think that if you leave the Brisbane in this vicinity to defend the cap, you've probably done exactly what you need. Malikan just put his radar up and basically found nothing. Well, he catches a glimpse of Big Six.
Yeah, but the bigger problem is Big Six counter radars and K-bombs. Montana's ready to fire. Here comes the salvo.
Yeah, Montana salvo coming in. We'll see how well they do. They do decently. Solid hit. They also catch a glimpse of Mad Dog's Daring, but here's what they don't find, Zath. They don't find Eagle Lance's Kleber.
Right.
They have to know by now that he's somewhere else.
So, I do agree with your idea there of bringing John back at the Venezia. At the very least, put maybe one grid square south of where the Brizzy and Vermont are right now. He can farm out that Moskva with the sap shells that will penetrate the 50mm armored deck that is on the Moskva.
Answer in trouble now as he's caught stern in at A, getting pushed by Eagle's Kleber and Frice's gearing. He accelerates out of there. He manages to not die. There comes the radar. That's going to put him out.
For now,
that's going to put him out. Somebody is going to take enough shells downrange to kill him.
Skinny thoughts. Think skinny thoughts.
Very skinny. Get skinny, Ganser.
882. Torp's going out. Bye-bye.
They get him. Torp's going out.
That's exactly what RESIN needed.
RESIN answering with a destroyer kill of their own. We'll have to see if Ganser's gasping breath of his last torpedo salvo is of any impact here. Doesn't look like it's going to be.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
Yeah, Fry's doing a nice job with his positioning there.
It's a 6-point lead for KSM, but it's about to change the other way. They put the radar up at A, Moskva radar to spot Fryce, but nobody has shells on him.
Nope.
So why spend it? Okay, the Ohio shells are coming in. 3, 2, 1, and too late.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Yep.
a big hit from Fivas Ohio on the Moskva.
Yep, he's been doing that all game.
And so now I think I like the play they're making, and you see here what John's doing. You're right. John's out here farming out K-Bomb's Montana. But they're also moving Swag's Vermont to mid, and I think maybe we're gonna see a battleship move into the middle of the board here, Zath.
Well, that Vermont, yeah, absolutely, for KSM. Really, there's nothing to stop him from doing that.
4 minutes to play. They're 20 points down and falling. They're gonna have to make something happen here. Whole bunch of conga line torps. The Breezer Brisbane single fire torpedoes out here hunting for Elgar's Moskva. His hydro's up though, so none of those are gonna land.
Most likely, no. They got to find a way. RESIN has to find a way to get rid of Mr. Kingsman's Moskva. That's really what's preventing them from swinging around through the A-cap. There goes all the radars.
All the radar. Like every radar on the board fired off at once, it seems.
Look if you got him.
Yeah, I know, right? Oyman's radar going up. 2 different RESIN radars going up from Big Six and Dark Angel. Oyman is well spotted in there.
Right. Nice little Venn diagram action.
Ooh, Malakin getting punished here.
Yeah, just because RESIN's low or K-Bomb's low doesn't mean he's dead.
That's right. Got a heel tick in there. K-Bomb down to 3,200 with more Venezia shells falling in. They need this kill.
They get it.
And there it is. That flips the lead for a little bit. Under 3 minutes now. Barely a 40-point lead here as KSM steps onto B with the Vermont. So that's going to hold that cap down for a while, I think.
Yeah, our Hulk in the Ohio though is in trouble south of A. He's been caught bow in, and he's just going to get farmed to death.
Eagle Lance's Kleber starting up the pain train with his reload booster cooking. Dark Angels Des Moines coming to join. Hydro Abuser all the way over here. He's got smokes left. I wonder if you smoke somebody there. I don't know. Kingsman radar going up now.
The smoke is started, but it's for himself.
It's for himself. Yeah, there goes the Ohio. He's going to burn out right there.
Oh.
That flips the lead back. 50-ish point lead, 2 minutes to play. The pressure on Swag is pretty immense here as well. Lots of shells farming him out as he takes a shot down range at Big Six's Brisbane.
And
for a
some
solid
connect.
hit.
Yeah.
But he's about to leave this cap circle. They're doing a great job of farming down Elgar as well. Elgar's down to 5K, 3K. They really need to pick up this kill.
He's gone.
70-point lead. He's got a heel ticking now. He's not dead yet.
Nope. They're just
They've
missing
dossed him. He's dark now. They have no eyes on him.
And
No
here comes
hydro left.
Venezia
On Oyman, there it is. The
There it
Venezia
is.
gets him. Flips the lead back momentarily. 20-point lead. 70 seconds on the clock. Swag is going to have to reverse back into this cap to hold this lead down. There it is. A 14-point lead now with 60 seconds in the game.
Yeah, and a whole bunch of torpedoes coming right for the Vermont. 2 different racks.
Those torpedoes might make the difference. It's going to depend on when they land and how many he takes.
Uh-oh, Mad Dog detected. Swag was ready.
Mad Dog got lit. The shells are going out.
Oh
my goodness.
Brilliant slap shot there.
The Vermont speaks, and I think now, even if they lose Swag, that kill's probably enough to keep them in the game. Swag's going to take 2 of these.
Oh wait,
and I
there's
think
more.
maybe 1 or 2 of the others. His DCP's cooking. He's out of heals. He's got to prevent the flood. They run out of
All
gas.
skill, no luck.
They run out of gas. All skill, no luck, ladies and gentlemen. With 10 seconds ticking away, KSM looks like they're going to grab game one, barring something just I can't foresee.
Kingman.
Kingman's going to go out, but it's not enough to flip the score.
14 points.
KSM wins by 14 points here in game one.
Wow.
That kill on the destroyer was the difference in this game.
Yes, it was.
Without that, Kingman dying with the seconds ticking away flips the score and RESIN wins. But it is. KSM carries the day here on Sleeping Giant.
Yeah, fantastic game fought by both sides.
It was less frenetic until the end, Zath.
Yep.
But once it got going, man, did it get going. That was fun.
Like I said, very much felt like I was watching an older King of the Sea match here.
Battle starts.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this losers bracket match. Best of 3 between KSM and RESIN here on the loop. KSM spawning in green at the top of the map. Zath, what do we got cooking for the KSM lineup?
Oh, KSM is bringing a St. Vincent and a Vermont. Vermont is in a sniper build, and St. Vincent's in what you'd expect him to be in. We've got a Marsilli, as Putin would like to say, heading towards the A cap. Looks like reload build. A second Marsilli also heading that direction. I feel like we've seen this before, Raptor. Anyways, moving along. We've got ourselves a Brizzy working its way towards C cap with a Shimakaze torpedo, all torpedo spec, including, let's see, 12 kilometer for Ganser there. And a smoke concealment torpedo build gearing that's also heading towards the D cap. Going middle is Kingsman's Des Moines. Unique upgrade, Ragnar, piloted by Malikan, typical Ragnar things, and I think that covers them all. Yes.
That gets it. All right, RESIN here, spawning on the bottom end of the map. They have fielded K-Bombs Ohio. Looks about the same as it was last game. He's got range and artillery plotting on 6. Again, with the Kremlin, Feva. So both battleships headed to B here for RESIN. Feva's Kremlin with a fairly standard reload and survivability kind of build. Dark Angels Des Moines running a legendary there in slot 6. Peyton's Stalingrad running range and acceleration there, or that's the engine room mod in slot 4. Allows him to get off a 0 a little quicker so he can hopefully do some backward and forward dodging. Fries is gearing with his hybrid build running gun reload in slot 6, but unique upgrade there in slot 5, and torpedo tube protection there in slot 3. On the other flank, well, gosh, where else have we seen this? Eagle Lance's Marseille running a reload and accuracy build there with the engine boost modifier. Same build for Big 6. Elgar the Smoke Hider. There we go. Well, he's driving a Napoli this game, so he's going to live up to his name with a reload and a little bit of secondary action. They're running the secondary mod, but that's right. No secondary skills anymore in the cruiser tree. My bad.
No.
And then all that fronted by Mad Dog Shimakaze with a very similar build to Ganser, running a full torpedo reload, including the unique upgrade. Is he running 20s or 12s, Zath?
Both of them are running 12s, and Sporkhead's Marsilli already detected taking some hits. Look how deep he is early.
Well, so do you remember late in the day on EU, we saw, I think, Penta putting a Marseille in this position for very similar reasons on this exact same map.
And what are those reasons, sir?
Well, so they were basically able to use the Marseille to prevent or at least help deny one of these pushes up the one line, because you already got somebody sitting out here with cross shots looking through these various gaps with guns big enough to be a threat for certainly to Citadel cruisers, but even to potentially Citadel certain battleships, certainly to get full pins on most battleships that would try to push past.
Okay. Well, we'll see how it works out for him, as they're up against 2 battleships, a Stalingrad, Des Moines, and a Gearing. I don't like those odds, frankly, but I'll tell you what, look at Mr. Kingsman Des Moines here. I mean, I'm getting flashbacks of the first game we played today, or second game? Where at some point they're just going to walk right through the middle.
That was second game of the day back when we were casting MHG and Epoxy, but I gotta say, I think it's not going to be too long before KSM realizes there ain't nothing in the middle of the board, and they basically get it for free if they want it.
Ganser backing up, takes a torpedo for his trouble.
Yep, Ganser takes one of midships. I think that was a Napoli torpedo, Zath.
It was very slow moving, so yes. Mad Dog just fired his racks.
Brisbane radar going up, catching Mad Dog Shimakaze, but not doing him any good because, well, Mad Dog's behind an island.
Mm-hmm.
Oyman has to be careful. He's drifted out of his smoke now. It's possible for him to get lit if he keeps firing. Looks like he's going to pull the trigger.
Yep.
Hold on the trigger, I should say.
Sporkhead, meanwhile, on the other flank, continuing to get hammered here, up against now Fiva G's Kremlin and Dark Angel's Des Moines. Forced to back off.
Yeah, he's backed up around that island a bit. He's got good, solid cover. Now, Swag is the one that I'd be worried about now. He's got an Ohio and a Kremlin salvo coming on his broadside.
Yeah.
The Kremlin salvo actually doesn't do very much, but the Ohio salvo took away about 15,000, 16,000. I mean, RESIN is very much in a strong position to push this flank if they want to. They've come all this way with 5 ships.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like they almost have to. Let's see if they do it or not.
Yeah, it kind of feels bad if you bring the beef and then you just don't do anything with it, right?
Double Marseille Napoli push continuing to work up the 10 line here for RESIN. Again, I'm shocked that KSM has not gone into the middle of the board. They have to know there's no one there by now.
At this
I think the
point,
only ship they haven't seen is maybe the gearing on the 1 line.
Yeah, Kingsman is moving forward, but he's being very cautious. I think that I'll bet you they haven't seen one of the destroyers yet, and they're just really concerned. But
I'm almost positive it's that gearing. It's Frice's gearing that they think. Well, I mean, the smoke is there. They have to have an idea of where he is.
yeah, it should be dead giveaway.
They also haven't spotted Mad Dog, I don't think. But I would have figured the torpedo salvos coming in over here would have given away his position. Malikan does touch C, drawing out Peyton's radar, but it's not going to do Peyton any good. He has no shots. And Malikan just sails right out of the range of that radar. So KSM is going to pick up C, having surrendered D now to RESIN. 6.5 minutes gone. The push on the 10 line, highly successful so far. The push on the 2-3 line.
Not.
Calling it a push is a bit of a misnomer, but I'll be honest. With Swag's position, they don't have to push.
No.
He's continuing to drive straight at them. I don't understand this, Zath.
Yeah, it's like they're like, well, we're going to push them, and then Swag's like hold my beer.
I don't understand why Swag came out from behind this island at all. In my opinion, he should have stayed up here much closer to the A cap.
Well,
they're going to lose him.
Yeah,
that was
as his heel came available. Just as his heel came available.
It just feels unnecessary for them to have lost a battleship already.
I agree. I think the problem was he started moving forward, trying to time it so that his heel was available when it was needed, and he was just 1 second too early.
Well, certainly very little to prevent a push up the 2-3 line now if RESIN wants it, and they've got a 120-point lead on the strength of that early kill.
Yep. So now, basically, RESIN could just kind of chill on both flanks. They don't even need the middle.
Let's see. KSM is rotating Malikan's Des Moines. Kingsman's Des Moines and Malikan's Ragnar back to this side of the map, so that their teammates aren't quite so outnumbered. You have to wonder. See, like it seems like the 10 line push is doing a little bit of reorganization here, Zath.
Well, I'm taking a look at it right now. Yeah, Big Six spotted now, backing off. Eagle Lance waiting. Mad Dog waiting. Elgar waiting. I agree with you. They're getting ready for. I think they're trying to get into a kite away position. I mean, there's no need to push here for them.
Radar going up. John the Pickles Marseille getting charged by Frice's gearing. I think, is the gearing going to come around the corner in the hopes that he can kill him?
Does he even need to?
Frice is going for it. There's the reload booster. Frice takes a couple of bow fires. He's trying to protect the torpedo tubes. Let's see if he can pull it off. He's got to get him in the water right about now. You see there John going for the torpedo tube disable.
Yeah.
It's not enough, though. He doesn't get it.
No, he goes down right there.
He does get it, but is Frice going to survive?
I don't think so.
1,000 HP. They need a couple of shells. That's all they need. They haven't gotten it yet.
Wow.
They're smoking the Des Moines up there. Fryce managing to cling to it on 1,000 HP. Sporkhead taking it in the bow from Favis Kremlin.
That's crazy that he was able to pull that kind of a play off.
I'm a little surprised he didn't die for that. But I mean, John was out there by himself. There was the other people who could take that shot were taking it, but it's such a long range you couldn't have expected very much.
I guess my thought was, what's the point? But, you know.
Sporkhead's going to try for the ram. I don't think he's going to get there.
Not with Peyton on his broadside. Nope.
Not a chance. Well, Peyton smacked him. The Dark Angel was going to light him on fire. Fava punches him out through the bow. It's a 3-ship lead for Resin. Bryce has a clear road to the A cap.
And now Kingsman does bow in and reverse in the Des Moines? I mean,
he's going to get absolutely destroyed by the Ohio for moving out for this position.
Well, guys, we're going to game 3.
The Stalingrad's going to follow up and miss. I'm surprised Peyton didn't punch him out right here. The Kremlin's going to take it. Yep. I think KSM just called a wipe, Zath.
I think so, too.
Kingsman literally just sailed out and basically threw his ship away. Malakin's just sitting here stationary with his guns going. They know they can't recover from this, I don't think.
Very decisive early play as Mad Dog.
Absolutely.
No.
The enemy is about to win.
I mean, I feel like the guys left over here on the 9-10 line for KSM did about as well as they could have with what they were up against, right? Double Marseille, Napoli, 12-kilometer Shimakaze. They bent. They gave the cap up, fine, but they didn't fold completely, and they've put good damage into these guys to slow them down. I think maybe they took too long, realized the middle of the board was empty, but I think that's probably the only real criticism I can come up with. I think Resin Strat was just stronger here.
You know, yeah. Also, the over-aggressive push on the side of that St. Vincent really sealed the deal on that side. But you know, they put all they put all their pieces over there on the 1-2 line, and then they just held. And
yeah.
It just felt bad because by doing so, they allowed Resin to get into these positions to start working around these guys, and then for whatever reason, Swag says, "Let's just go," and nobody else did.
Yeah, the St. Vincent kind of throwing his ship away was a bit of a miss. I'm not sure what happened there. They had to know those ships south of him had positions to just punch him out if he tried to make that play.
Yeah, exactly. All right, everybody, our last game of the day for King of the Sea North America, the playoffs at the very least here. This is the loser bracket. Resin, KSM tied up. Each team looking to advance and return tomorrow. They got to win first. Resin bringing a Ohio that is sniper spec, Montana that is also sniper spec, a Napoli that, okay, good, he's moving.
Yeah.
I was thinking, oh no, not again.
I know, me too.
We've got a unique upgrade Des Moines, another unique upgrade Des Moines, a Brizzy that is gun build, destroyer gearing that is torp and legendary unique upgrade, followed by a Yu Yang that is also smoke, running all torpedo build, and then going to the middle is Mad Dog in his daring. I feel like I've seen him do this before in KOTS past. What do we have over in KSM side?
All right, KSM bringing St. Vincent. That's swag over 9,000 here. He's running a bit of a gun reload. It's a little bit of touch of survivability in that build. Going with him to the eastern flank here is Sporkhead's Salem. Reload and concealment, not surprising. Ganser's Kleber is running legendary, so he is low detection but long gun reload. Here in the middle of the board, we have John the Pickles Des Moines. He is running unique upgrade, concealment, and top grade gunner. He is accompanied by Chinese Hydro Abusers Daring with a bit of gun reload. We saw him earlier on Sleeping Giant. Malakin back in the Ragnar, range mod Ragnar. And then headed over here towards the A cap, we have our Hulk's Vermont with turret traverse there and artillery plotting room 2, as well as Oyman's Brisbane. Gun reload there, and Wombat's gearing, getting a bit of a hybrid there. He's running the extra long smoke mod in slot 3, married to regular torpedo reload and the fancy legendary gearing mod.
Interesting to see the Vermont using the turret traverse mod in slot 3. I saw
that too.
you give up a little bit of your range, but the bigger thing is when you give up that range, you also give up a little bit of vertical dispersion. So you're not going to be as accurate, but your your turrets will turn faster. So yay for that.
All kinds of early radar here going off. We've got Brisbane radar over here south of A, picking up Eagle Lance's gearing. All kinds of torpedoes and shells and everything else going into that smoke, but most everybody's got all the defense they need to avoid most of that.
You know what
a bunch of shells. Go ahead.
What I find odd though, Eagle Lance was detected, and they know he's not the one that's smoking. So they know now that Fryce is a smoke Yu Yang, and they know that there's going to be another smoke going into A.
Now, Oyman's going to take at least one of these torpedoes. Yep, catches him. He's actually lit now.
Radar, yep.
Ohio shells coming in. That actually looks like it could be a good salvo. Nope, just a little bit.
Oyman smartly waiting on his DCP until he knows he's safe.
RESIN has committed heavily to Zath, right? There's 5 ships here, including 2 smoke destroyers, 2 radar cruisers, and an Ohio. So they want this flank, and they've got it. Unquestionably and uncontested.
Look at Ganser. Look how far up he is.
Yeah. Well, what's going to stop him? What's going to stop him? Who's back there going to slow him down?
I love it, because it allows KSM to make that crucial decision now. Do we advance, or do we rotate? And it looks like they are advancing.
Yep. Swagger 9000 got his speed boost coming. He's chugging up the 9 line. I actually almost wonder if he's going to turn and cut through this gap on his port side into the C cap, because there won't be much for him at the top of the 9 line once he gets there.
I would think he keeps going so he can try to get a rear shot on the Des Moines, Elgar's position there.
Hydro Abusers daring into the bottom end of B. Elgar's radar is down. They're going to face spot the opposing daring here, who's going to try for some resets and get a couple there.
He's getting hit pretty hard, though, for his trouble.
He is indeed. John's radar is also down, but it's coming back up in 13. Mad Dog is outside of that radar range now.
Yeah. Yeah, and see, that's what I mean with Elgar. I think Elgar's the key. You got to get that Des Moines out of there.
Well, but you're going to need a battleship to do that. I mean, Hulk is probably your best shot to pull that off.
Well, that's why I'm thinking you keep the St. Vincent going north, but he's actually turning into the channel and going into C.
I like it. Hydro grabs B. John's radar is still in reserve at B, so KSM should be able to hold and defend that cap for a while. Swag turning here into middle of the board, coming through the gap here in C.
The reason for my concern about going through that channel, though, is he's going to have to stop. He's going to give a broadside to the Napoli, possibly the Montana, and going into the channel slows him down. He's not able to get behind the Des Moines as quickly as if he would have just kept going straight. We'll see what happens.
Zath, I feel like the A flank now becomes the key, right? I look at B. I feel like B is going to be pretty static for a while. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel that way. And RESIN has no way into the C cap right now, although they are rotating Fryce's Yang and Dark Angel's Des Moines back to that flank. So maybe they've got a sense of where Ganser is, and they want to come finish him off.
Oh, this could be catastrophic for KSM.
Well, I mean, losing a destroyer would certainly not be a good thing.
Well, the bigger
it does
issue,
leave them
no vision.
Yeah, I was going to say, it does leave them a little short-handed over here at the A cap, as Peyton takes a torpedo. But, I mean, if they're not careful, they leave A cap so understaffed that KSM can find a way in.
One of the things about this map, maybe one of the reasons why it's such a favorite for players and viewers, is because it's relatively small enough to allow for maneuvers like what we are seeing here to be successful.
Yeah, especially with ships like the Yang with his speed boost cooking, right? Like, he can just book it.
Exactly. A-Bomb's probably going to take a torpedo here. He does.
Yeah, see, those torpedo salvos, they know Ganser is close. They know he's up there. That's interesting.
Well, Napoli's got radio location, as does Mad Dog.
Yeah.
So they can triangulate.
Yeah, so they know where to look. They know where to look, yeah. 7 minutes gone. It's a 150-ish point lead for KSM. Still too early to call, though.
No.
Lots of game to be played. Small health advantage for KSM, but nothing that can't be overcome in a salvo or two.
Yeah, the thing over at A is it's really going to come down to who gets that lucky torpedo hit. I don't know that anybody's really going to get caught out and just whacked.
I was going to say that it felt like KSM had more torpedo power available, but as I look over it again, that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
Each team has a Gearing and a Brisbane. That's literally the same. So nothing there.
Ganser has literally put himself between the Napoli and the Montana. Look at where he is.
The radar is going up now at a Dark Angel there in the middle of the board. They're trying to see if they can figure out where Ganser is, I think.
Mm-hmm.
No
K-bomb
dice.
Takes another torpedo hit.
I was just fixing to say K-bomb taking another French torpedo there. Is he flooding?
He's on fire at least.
I see he's on
I
fire.
don't think he's flooding.
He is not flooding. He just DCP'd anyway. Oh, no, he didn't. The fire just burned out. My
Mm-hmm.
apologies. Now, they do catch Chinese Hydro Abuser with this radar. He's taking some punishment.
Don't you love when that happens? You've got a plan, you use it, and you're like, oh, hey, somebody else to shoot.
Oh, hey, look, somebody else I can shoot. Yeah, I know, right?
Another fire on K-bomb.
Frice is just about to step onto the B cap. They managed to push John back a bit with these deep water torpedoes, but I'm very confident that this is going to draw out his radar. There it is. So now who's going to get shots on Frice? Because Frice is lit, but he's just sitting there. There comes some shells. John finally getting a few downrange. No resets there. There he goes. Finally lands some hits, gets some resets in.
Yeah, K-bomb is...
K-bomb is in
off.
trouble. Yeah. It's a 200-point lead here now for KSM on the strength of that cap advantage. And they've also done a pretty good job of whittling down K-bomb's health over here. Down under 20k. He's got a few heals left, but not the sort of thing you're excited about.
Most definitely not.
No.
The enemy is about to win.
Elgar perhaps caught out a bit here, maybe? No, I don't think so. He's okay. John had the AP up on him, was just trying to catch him.
And once again...
Frice is going to go back in there in a minute.
I talk about this a lot when I do KOTS replays. Peyton taking a hit there. If you look at the minimap, there's a nice line that's being drawn. And there's a couple of outliers right now. Mad Dog's Daring and Frice's Yu Yang.
Peyton drifts out of the smoke. Arhulk's guns apparently aren't quite available. Malikin's Ragnar getting punished now. Shells going in on Frice. I think they're blind fire. They do manage to get a reset there.
Mm-hmm. Hydra Abuser's detected.
He is lit. I'm not sure how, but he is. Oh, because he's firing. They're both blind firing into the cap, trying to get the resets.
Mm-hmm.
Game's half over. It's a 220-point lead here for KSM as they begin to lose control of B and C simultaneously.
Yeah, Mad Dog with a true just crazy play. He's going right into C cap. He's also, of course, has those single fire torps. Swag knows he can't sit there anymore.
Nope. And the Salem is out of position, not able to defend that C-cap. Kudos to RESIN for realizing they could pick this up. Ooh, big hit on John there.
Yeah.
K-Bomb's Montana making his presence felt again. Deepwater torpedoes coming in. Chinese Hydro's... Chinese Hydro will pick that up. Dundon.
Hydro. Yeah, I don't know.
They do manage to flip C.
I don't know what the plan is for KSM over on this 910 line. They've completely stalled at this point.
They've just rearranged everybody.
The decision to pull Ganser back so he doesn't chase after the Montanas. I don't know.
Is this a gunfight that Ganser can win? He and Mad Dog are both spotting each other now.
Well, he does have reload booster.
Popping. That's true. Ganser is popping his reload booster. Going to get some shots into Mad Dog. And if nothing else, I think he's just realizing, push him out of here, get the cap, keep the cap as best you can.
Getting some decent hits there with his guns.
He did. He took about half of Mad Dog's remaining health there.
And Mad Dog is out of heals, by the way.
Yep, Mad Dog backs off the cap. That's going to allow KSM to retain about a 180-point lead here when all is said and done. Doesn't feel like our Hulk's Vermont has been impactful as I was originally thinking he would be, Zath.
Well, I was just looking at him, and he's taking shots at the Ohio, most likely because he's got nothing else to shoot, and then suddenly
Yep.
Peyton appears.
Peyton is lit back there.
Yeah,
I wish we
chasing
could
after
see gun
Wombat.
reloads.
That
I'd
would
be
be handy.
fascinated to know. Fascinated to know how long our Hulk's gun reload is.
There goes
Oh,
Mad
they
Dog.
get Mad Dog. Ganser runs him down and assassinates him now. Is he going to be able to salvage his ship? Price is there shooting at him, taking some shells of his own. Yep, Ganser's going to sneak away, I think.
Our Hulk takes 2 of those gearing torpedoes, and there's
I was
2.
wondering.
Nope, that's it.
Nope, Brisbane torpedoes don't quite have the legs. And now it's 960 points, 25 seconds on the timer. KSM looking like they're gonna claim game 3 here.
Chinese hydro abusers detected. Ganser is dropping depth charges.
It's desperation time if you're Resin, Zath. They've got Hydro
yeah,
Abuser lit,
absolutely.
but they've only... Okay, they step onto B. That buys them time. Again, we're back to 25 seconds or so. Even if they just reset Elgar endlessly.
I'm waiting for K-Bomb Salvo. I think it's coming in now. On Chinese hydro abusers at 6,000. His DCP's up.
Hasn't happened. Hydro's
we
about
haven't
to
seen
grab
it.
some hard cover. K-Bomb Salvo going the wrong way. 6 seconds on the timer. 3. Shells aren't even going to arrive.
Nope, that's it.
KSM's going to win game 3. Only 1 dead ship in that entire match, Zath.
Very interesting watching that game play out. I think the MVP that play has to go to Ganser's Kleber.
Oh yeah, for sure. For the sheer hubris.
Yeah, and coming away with the only kill of the game, by the way.
And coming away with the only kill of the game, which was pretty impactful. Because if you give Resin more time, they're gonna find a way back into the game. But that kill took time away that they didn't have.
All right, well, let's toss it back to the studio and we'll
Absolutely.
wrap things up.
Indeed.